You ready for work?
Ready?
Ready?
Well, welcome
To another episode
of Drive It to the Res.
with your favorite hosts, PB.
PB.
Yeah, there's a PB.
Larry and Inelia.
Very good, honey. Very
Thank you.
good.
Yes, been practicing. Today we're celebrating a win.
Oh my God. What a massive
Win.
Massive
win.
win. Yes. Wow. Huge. Fossil Beach. An impossible became real.
An impossible dream become real?
No, just an impossible became real.
An impossible became real, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It was funny, though. From the very first moment, well, you know how it is with some things. Some things from the very first moment you have a feeling, and other things from the very first moment you have, well, sometimes a different feeling.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain more with regards to the Fossil Beach?
Well, Fossil Beach is Fossil Beach,
How many, the frontage, beach frontage does it have?
it has more 1,000 feet than I can count. Like half a mile.
Half a mile of frontage.
On
Ocean
beachfront.
Beachfront, yeah.
Literally half a mile, yeah.
Yes.
It's like when you get down to the beach, you look left and you look right, is about as far as you could walk is how much beach you got.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
And it's littered. And maybe that's not the right word because, littered
It's with glitter and
is litter. But this is littered. Well, I think of it as littered is okay because we're going to pick up the litter.
Yes.
It's littered with fossils.
Fossils, yes.
Yeah. We're talking
billions of years old fossils.
Yeah, trillions of years old.
Yes.
Maybe not quite that many years, but quite old.
Yes.
Shells
fossils
of
and shells.
I mean, when you go to the beach and you collect shells, that's cool. But when you go to the beach and you collect rocks that are shells.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So now we're talking next level. Yeah. Give me the basket, honey. We might as well show off some of our yesterday's haul. Yesterday you hauled this one.
That is most outstanding. It even looks like it's not a rock.
It doesn't even look like a rock, right?
But it is a rock.
It is totally a rock. And look, it even has...
We're looking in the screen.
Yeah, if you look at the video, you'll see fossils.
Of a what?
Well, this is a snail shell about the size of my fist.
Yeah.
About a fist-size snail.
Yes.
Undersea snail, probably.
Yeah.
And it's totally turned into a rock.
Yeah.
Here.
Amazing.
Here, hold it,
amazing.
That's your
detail.
Fun. Here, I found one, too, that looks more rock. I mean, it's so
another rock shell. Snail shell?
It in the sunshine sparkles. It has sparkles because the shell crystals. And everything turned into mineral crystals, and the crystals sparkle in the sunshine.
They do.
So, I mean, it's just a rock, but it's a snail.
Yeah.
It's a rock snail.
Yeah.
And look, I found I don't know what you call that.
Pebble?
Pebble. BB. Perfectly round. Yeah. They have the funniest shapes. Here's another one. Look at that.
Marble. That is a marble.
It's
that one is that's
it's like flat with a bump in the middle.
Yeah.
Like a.
And on the other side, I think there's some little crystals, or no?
Nothing,
no, that one doesn't have it.
The holes in them are square sometimes. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
It's just amazing, right?
See, one of these round rocks, if you cut it in half, inside is a square.
It's a square.
Something.
Who said that there was no right angles in nature?
Somebody, but they apparently were wrong. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the circle just has a circle in the middle.
Sometimes they have crystals in the middle, don't they?
And sometimes they have crystals in the middle.
Brad wants out. Oh.
And sometimes they have, well, this is another rock that is actually a
shell. Clam shell.
It's a razor clam.
Razor clam, yeah.
From a billion years ago.
Yeah.
And I got one more I really want to. Oh, here's one with the crystals in the middle.
Okay, let me show them that. So if you haven't seen the video and you're listening in, this episode might be worth watching the video because...
Yeah, it's worth the video. Just give it a look-see.
You can almost see the sparkles in there. Yeah. It's not very shiny out, so the sparkles are not very pronounced, but...
And here's what I call a fossil coin.
It's totally flat little round thing.
It's a quarter about double thickness made out of stone, right? I mean, that's a fossil coin. Mm-hmm. And that's a fossil dollar.
A fossil dollar. It's a little tube with crystals in the middle.
And this, what is that?
We don't know. I think
Somebody
I
said
saw
seaweed?
somebody talking about one of these in one of those videos on the internet. It looks, somebody at Fossil Beach said they think it was fossilized seaweed.
Could
And
be.
it's possible. Maybe somebody who knows about these things can put in the comments on Telegram what they think this is or what it is. Yeah.
And look, it's just totally a rock, right?
A rock.
But look again.
Ta-da! Another
snail. We
fossil.
found lobster claws, crab claws.
Yes.
Apparently there's whale bones, but we haven't found any of those.
We thought we might have. Oh, look, he wants to get out.
I'll let him out. And see the tube things?
The tube, yeah, we have tubes with crystals in the middle.
Crystals down the middle of them.
Yeah.
Interesting thing.
Very interesting things. There was one with a little claw or something. Can't find it though. Your claw one?
Yeah, the claw one. I couldn't find it either.
Yeah, so cool, so cool.
So, yeah, well, we call it a great big win because we
Now
own it. And we
the group
paid for it even.
Yeah.
And we paid for it as a group, with a group.
Mm-hmm. Let me read a little bit of the newsletter.
Yeah, let's read the newsletter. There's some backstory here.
Yes, a backstory, okay? The newsletter tells you the backstory. And of course, a big encouragement to go to Iben's Academy, actually take the workshop that this is a result of, right? So, a big part of instant manifestation and something we teach in the instant manifestation workshops, or IMW as we like to call them, at Iben's Academy is that we can accelerate our manifestations when we work together with a compatible and focused group. In January 2021, I held an in-person workshop at the Shaman Shack with the idea to record the lectures and streamline the labs for later delivery of the workshop online. A big part of the workshop structure concentrates on group manifestation items.
Yeah, that's the funny part. Oftentimes, you go to a manifestation workshop and you're thinking about yourself.
Oh, we did that too.
Yeah, and we do that.
We do.
Yeah, definitely
that's important.
do. It's not that it's not important, but oftentimes what's neglected is
the
how things actually come to be.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
One of the items we chose as a group to practice with was to buy land together. Not just any land, but magical, amazing beachfront property land beyond the means of any singular one of us could imagine, want for themselves alone, or afford. We used some land that was for sale near us, or better, as a focus.
Right.
A short time later, one of the workshop and Shaman Shack community members who was looking to buy land in the area found 47 acres of beachfront land for sale between the Shaman Shack and Port Angeles. After much hemming and hawing, since the property was pretty big,
for this one person.
person's
desires and needs.
Yeah. The property was presented to the first Instant Manifestation Workshop membership who considers a potential group land purchase. The invitation went out to see who wanted to participate in buying the property.
Incidentally, I went to visit that land with him.
You did. Tell us about that. That was exciting. It was like 2 feet of snow.
There was 2 feet of snow on the ground, and I think I saw it I might have seen it on Zillow or something like that. But we went there to go look at it. And the first walk in, it was like an RV park, an RV park without any RVs or parking spots or the little hookup things. Just like, here's where RVs would go. Yeah. Kind of chunk of land and some giant trees and some older trees and just snow everywhere. And to get to it even, I had to go the other way around town. It was a 2-hour drive extra around
because the road was closed.
Yeah, from the Shaman Shack to it was about 30 minutes or so drive. But to get there, because of the road closed and the landslide and the snow, it was a couple hours extra plus the 40 minutes to go around in a loop. And when we got to almost where it was, there was a great big road closed sign right there. Yeah. So I had to go around the road closed sign and through 2 feet of snow in an unplowed road in a Jeep, 4-wheel drive, full throttle, screaming up the hill.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was extremely slippery.
Yeah.
And halfway up, I was like, oh well, we might not make this because we're all 4 tires are spinning and we're sliding into the ditch.
No.
going up the road because it's slightly tilted down,
Yeah,
you know?
it is, yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but I grew up in Alaska and, you know, when at
That's
this point, you're like committed. So you got to make it count. If you back off, you're really stuck. You just got to go for it. Anyways, we did. We got there.
And there was not a proper address. Or
there's
it's
no
like
address.
somewhere
There's
around
no
there.
number. There's no number. There's no address. There's nothing. There's
no
just
mile marker.
There was a log.
They said
kind of
it's
thing.
on that highway around this area, and it has a for sale sign. That's it.
Right. And when you look at the tax numbers and you try and find it, it had multiple ones in different areas that weren't even there. So it was a bit tricky to find. Mm-hmm. Well, we did find it. And when we went to explore it, it's basically developed in maybe 2 acres of it. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the 50 acres isn't developed at all.
No.
And the beach half of it, to get to the beach, you have to go through the forest, cross country through these landslides and loop-de-loops and swamps and everything else. So we just had snow, 2 feet of snow cover, everything. And we just went, there's beach. Let's try and get to the beach. We totally went straight down to the beach, like half a mile through the forest covered in snow down 45 degree steep hill.
Or even steeper.
Even steeper in some places.
I think it was steeper.
Well, we got, it was extreme. And we got there, it's like, the beach is covered with fossils for reals. Yeah. And then we had to get back up, which we took a side route.
Oh, no.
Another way. We looked up, we said, maybe this way would be better. And no, it didn't turn out to be better. No. It was worse. But, you know, at the end of that excursion, I was like, I love it. And he was like,
I hate it.
I hate it. That was I think, part of the source of the hemming and the hawing.
Yes.
It was like, yeah, that's good, but geez, that's terrible. It's great and it's terrible. Mm-hmm.
It had no water, no electricity, and what would he do there? He wanted a home. It wasn't suitable.
So for what he was thinking, it wasn't suitable. But for group,
I think it's perfect. Right?
I think it's perfect. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So we invited the people who participated in that first instant manifestation workshop. And was it 10 people who said yes? Well, 10 including couples,
I think
right?
everyone who decided to did join. Which was interesting.
Yeah.
Oftentimes people might say yes just because they're afraid of missing out. And then
change their mind or whatever.
But in this case, all 10 decided, yes, we want to, and they followed through.
Yeah, some of them didn't even have incomes. Like, you know, some of them were not even in the area.
And we had no idea how we would buy it as a group. It was like, we got to come up with the cash. We have to figure out an offer. We have to figure out how we hold it. We have to figure out how we buy it.
And we had to do it fast.
We have to figure out, are we getting a loan? Are we getting
I could see it
down
closing.
Payment? What are we doing?
Yeah.
But the first thing was, are we doing it?
Yes.
And then once the decision was made, it was like, well, now we'll do it.
Yeah.
So we started using the tools we're learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we figured everything out. Yeah. The window of opportunity to buy it was narrow in time. I could sense it closing really fast. So everyone had to make a quick decision and then work everything out really fast.
It was like
every
pressure.
day. It was like there's only a couple of days left. Literally, like, you know.
Literally. And usually you don't want to do rushed things, you know, you consider them and toss them over, especially large things. But in this case,
the opportunity was amazing from Gaia. She held it invisible for so long for us. And it was closing so fast. And eventually I said, okay, guys, we need to do it right now. We'll figure out the details later. We just have to put in an offer right now. Just asking offer. Just let's do it because it's going to go. It's going to go today or tomorrow. And so we did it.
Yeah,
we put in the offer and then
asking price.
Yes, and we found out that she was that day going to sign a contract
on somebody
else's offer. They were looking at the land that day, and it was for less, and that's why she refused. That we did the asking offer. It was so close. It was hours close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are several things that were interesting about this land. The price was outside the reach of most of the members buying it on their own, and the ones who could buy it on their own didn't want it for various reasons, by themselves.
Right.
The door to this opportunity was closing fast. And this is a really important thing to look at, I think. That's when we put out an instant manifestation intent, or doors of opportunity will open, but they will also close. It's not like they're going to stay there forever. whether it's a relationship, a marriage, or a new job, or like this, buying land, or whatever opportunities come up from our work here of the exercises, the doors open, but the majority of them will close fast because they're amazing opportunities. Okay. Another one. One of the reasons it hadn't sold yet was the highway on it was closed due to heavy snowfall and massive landslides a couple of miles away, and a section of the road was closed, which meant that it was not on the visible path of anyone driving past.
Right. She'd put it on the market.
She did.
Right?
Yeah.
And put the for sale signs up, but the road was closed.
Yes.
No, everybody who drove by couldn't see it. The only way you could find it is if you happen to be searching that area on Zillow at that time. Yes. And even then, it didn't point to the right place.
No, it did not. It didn't point to the right place. It was really difficult to find.
It was very hidden.
Very hidden. We saw that as a very big sign that, guys, get your act together. It's yours.
Here's your opening. Mm-hmm. Take advantage of it if you want to, but you don't have to, of course.
Yeah. Although the price was above most of the members' individual reach, it was priced to sell fast. The market price was very low. Prices would skyrocket soon after we signed the papers and the snow and road opened and it became visible to others.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's for sale? That kind of energy. It's like, I had no idea.
Yeah. 10 parties from the workshop said yes. I say parties because some of them are couples like us, and there's another couple.
Some weren't.
Yeah.
Some became couples.
Yeah. Including someone who was support staff for the event and didn't partake in it. Which was really interesting to me. It was. Several of the people who decided to participate had no idea how they would be even able to pay for it and worked tirelessly to get the funds every month and succeeded. Mm-hmm. And also the group support was, don't worry about it. Just do what you can. Use the tools, do what you can. And if you're short in any way, that the rest of the group would have your back, right? Which was amazing because that energy, I've never seen it before, right?
No, usually I see the guilts or the pressures or the stresses or the connivings or the finaglings behind the scenes.
Or they're taking advantage, all sorts of stuff, right?
There's a lot of negative energy that comes in when you start working financially as a group with financial matters in mind, right? Yeah. Our group never devolved into that.
No, on the contrary.
Yeah. I
know
my dad tried to buy a giant property with a group of people in Alaska. No, he ended up, all of the money he invested, he didn't get anything for. And one of the investing partners happened to be a good lawyer who took it from everyone.
Of course.
So he used all their money to pay for it, and then he took it and kept it himself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That doesn't always work out.
It doesn't always work out. This is a high frequency group though.
Yeah. And so, yes, owning property with other people sometimes can be challenging. Owning property with other people who are high frequency and using high frequency tools, much less, low frequency, right?
It's not low frequency.
No low frequency.
And it's not like we didn't have challenges in the group and ourselves and stuff, but we had the IBENS methodology tools to work through them.
Right.
With full confidence.
Right. And I mean, in April 2023, the land was paid in full. Ownership was transferred to the group representative. The paid off in full, when we get closer to the finish line, there was a balloon payment, remember?
Yes.
And the financial situation on the plan is a bit different between like when we bought it and now.
Right.
Between then and now, things have changed. Like, I know, like diesel's $5.60 a gallon, and milk's $10 a gallon, and eggs are $20 a dozen, things like that. Things are very much more expensive, and the income from those things that we do aren't higher, right? So most people's, I'm not going to say everybody's, there was more challenge involved in doing the balloon payment than the down payment in my mind.
Yeah,
right?
I think so too.
And it had stress and strain and worry about it. And that was processed.
It was.
And resolved with each other energetically to some degree. I could see it like sorting itself out. And at the end of the balloon payment thing, I thought we're like going to have a big chunk that we have to come up with. And it dissolved into almost practically nothing.
Yeah.
It was a miracle. It was as big a miracle as the down payment getting paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we do with the land? We collect fossils, we cut the grass, we have camped there a couple of times, we planted fruit trees, mushrooms, got water system going, set up a flushing toilet, and generally gather, enjoy it, and bask in the energy of the power of the group.
Indeed, yeah. Indeed.
We haven't made any decisions yet on how to use the land, if at all, but it's ours. That can come later.
Yeah.
A side effect of this project was the massive growth and improvement of the life of all those who participated in achieving it. Instant manifestation, when done in a group, is massively powerful. A great and important part of the workshop was the link made by the participants to create projects or achieve goals together. Even individual goals, when supported by the group, massively accelerates to achievement or higher frequency conclusions.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, there was a difference on the beach between the time when we found it but hadn't made a decision to buy it, and we 2 feet of snow down a cliff mountain and back up and soaking wet and freezing, exhausted. And I think the only fossil, if you grab me my basket, the only fossil that we'd found at the time down there was things like this.
The little
this.
Little roundy things.
Just tube thingies
Tubes
that kind of look like rocks that are oddly shaped.
Oddly shaped rocks, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And that was... Wow,
amazing.
those are amazing.
Yeah.
I think we found something like this too. Maybe.
Yeah, the little round things with the crystals in the middle. Yeah.
But that was it. And then after we had started to buy it and made an agreement and signed the papers and made the down payment, and then we started going to the beach. Remember, we ran into someone who gave us a lesson. We were like,
yes.
I sure wish I knew what these were.
Yes.
And
what are not and what do they do?
Here comes the fellow walking down the beach from the other end, and we're like, who's this guy on our property? We're like, what are you doing? Did you find any cool stuff? And he had a fossil crab claw or something, right? And he said, yes, I come after every storm. I'm going to walk from over there and this and that and the other. And he's like, what are these? What are these? What are these? And he gave us a long...
We were with him for a
20-minute lesson
longer,
on here's what you look for, and these are the things, and if you open this, then you can find this.
He was an expert.
And he was like, and then you can find a thing, and if you find something like this, then you can get that little buzzer thingy, a pencil thing that has a chisel in the end, and you can open it up, and here's some pictures of mine, and I can find a whale, and here's a clam, and it was like, here's a lesson.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I haven't seen him since, and I was hoping to.
We were hoping he'd give everybody a lesson,
I was hoping to have a little workshop.
Yeah, a little workshop with him. That would have been amazing.
Maybe it'll happen. But
maybe it will.
Anyway, after that invitation, we started to find our clams, the clam shells. And
the twirly shells.
There were very few of the twirly shells, though. I mean, we'd find one or two, but there weren't a lot.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Once in a while, you'd get one, and mostly it was a mushed up kind of a rock kind.
That's true.
And after we paid off the final payment, we went to the land yesterday, and we went down to the beach. We just sat down anywhere.
And we'd find amazing
We'd have around us, 5 feet worth of reach or whatever. And there were these giant twirly shells that are perfect condition, perfect shape with all the goodness to them. Yeah. It was like...
Here it is.
It's like amplification. Yes. So we found more twirly shell fossils yesterday than we have the entire 2 years.
2 years, yes, true.
So it does seem like it had a magnification and an immediate effect.
And like a validation, I think, almost.
Validation,
from Gaia, yeah. Okay, let's have a look at numbers and other
let's
effects.
Look at the numbers. How did it number out?
Yeah, so Fossil Beach is amazing.
Yep.
We paid off about $400,000 in 2 years. We're about to, if we were to sell it today's market price, it would sell for about $1.5 million.
Yeah.
That's $1,500,000, which we have no plans to do.
And it was brought up even.
It was brought up. We thought about it.
What about this? Maybe we just take our cash, sell the money, sell the thing, collect the money, use it to pay off the
other things,
balloon payment, and, maybe do another project.
Yeah. Again, this amount is easy to pay by some individuals, but in the Instant Manifestation group, the majority of the participants could not do it by themselves. It was actually impossible for them.
And that's the by themselves part. In this sense, the question of selling it was brought up, and it isn't the majority want to, so we will. It's a consensus system where we all agree. And in this case, we didn't all agree, and it was fine.
Yeah,
because we went in knowing this, and we agree with this. This is how we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So none of us do it ourselves, essentially. Yeah. It's impossible to do it ourselves. You can't buy yourself do it.
Yeah.
Sell it or buy it.
Right.
Okay.
Because the land is held by a high-frequency group, the healthy group energy is now solidly anchored on Earth and being amplified by the land itself. And it is something that anyone can achieve when they have good allies and good counsel.
Right, it's what we always talk about, right?
Mm-hmm. Good allies and good counsel is part of the IBAN's Instant Manifestation Workshop steps. Right?
And it's part of your methodology.
Yes, IBAN's a method, yeah. There have, so far, May 2023, been 2 online Instant Manifestation Workshops. One of the interesting aspects of these online workshops is the 100% completion rate and continued collaboration by the students after the workshop ends. Many amazing and exciting personal and group projects and goals have been achieved so far. Fossil Beach is just one of them.
Yeah, I think that's something that should be made note of. One of the things when you join a workshop, you go to a workshop and you get what you get out of it, and then you move on with your life. In the case of these workshops, you actually get good allies and good counsel.
Yes.
And you are good ally and good counsel.
Yes.
And that's
a relationship
a large part of it. That's a relationship that lasts well beyond
for life if you choose it.
A week or two's.
Yeah. And it's the power behind it. It's like one of those. It's a power behind your capacity to manifest. It's amazing.
Totally amazing.
Yeah. Why do I personally feel so passionate about this achievement and the Instant Manifestation Workshops? Because, as I have stated even before the first workshop, a world filled with empowered, capable, able, sovereign, high-frequency light workers who are uniting to fulfill and co-create high-frequency projects and lives on Earth is very important to me.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel it's important.
Yeah, but why?
Because it is.
Let's look at a good why. Why is
well,
it
here
important?
it is.
Okay, just tell me.
Do you really want to know the why?
I really, really want to know.
Because it matches.
It matches
my prime purpose.
Your prime
to being
purpose
on Earth,
and mine as well.
Yes. Do you want to share your prime purpose?
We wrote it down, and we've published it in several ways. The most recent one in a more recent newsletter, right? Mm-hmm. And it has to do with your frequency being transmitted and reflected back to you in the experiences you're having.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And mine is to be efficient, right? And delivering the message of empowerment on Earth.
Yes. Yes.
So both of them are very, very well reflected in this, having light workers all over the world uniting to create high frequency projects and lives on Earth.
Right. And it was in the collaboration sense, it was there were good strengths in all different areas, It's like where you had a strength, another one had a strength, another one had a strength, another one had a strength. And when you mush all those strengths together, holy moly. Yes. I mean, organized, structured, full of energy, with imagination, high frequency excitement, generation. Yeah. I mean, not like everybody always was super duper, like, I can't wait to go to the meeting or something, but the meetings and the process of buying together and working through challenges. Yeah. I mean, all of us had strengths that brought it to fruition instead of, tearing apart each other, right? Yeah. So it's fantastic. And now that it's bought and held by us, that frequency.
It's on the land.
It's on the land, right?
Yeah. And I have to say that it's not like we grow and learn how to be a high frequency group overnight. And that's why I wanted to test this out to see how it worked. I wanted it to be achieved because it's a process, right?
Right.
And by having the core essential tools to function with each other, because some of us have very, very, very different personalities that in a regular like say in an industry or whatever, without the tools, without the high frequency part of it, personalities that are in this group would not function together, would not be able to complete a project together.
I think that's probably very true, yeah.
But with the tools and acceptance of each other's personalities, we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you know, we're not the only people on the planet who have bought a property together as a group.
True.
Right. And probably not even the only group of people who've bought property together and didn't have any major issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if you tried to gather the group of people we did gather together
Mm-hmm.
with, like you say, the personalities that they had and the financial, I guess, wherewithals each had at different levels, right? And tried to buy land together, you would not succeed.
In 2 years.
No, you would not. It would not
no,
work.
it wouldn't work. No.
It would totally not work.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So if you want to become part of a great group of allies and good counsel, do join one of the upcoming, now accelerated instant manifestation workshops online at our academy. If you're not ready for it yet, no worries. We have the basic tools for you to become ready for absolutely free at our website. We suggest, if you're feeling like you're not ready or triggered in any way, we suggest the reconnection with I messed up here. The reconnection with the spirit of money exercise,
Right.
the 5-minute meditation, the fear processing exercise, and the firewalls exercise. If these work for you, you will have the time, money, and support and allies for you to take the workshop with the knowledge that the IBENS method works for you.
Right. If you use these tools, it doesn't do it.
Don't take the workshop.
Take the workshop. If you use these tools and they work for you, the workshop's going to work too.
Yes.
That's pretty obvious, right?
It is pretty obvious.
You can find these
test it for free.
tools, right? The links to these tools
Yes.
will be in the show notes, I hope.
Yes.
Right. And if you don't have the show notes or you don't know how to get them, where would you go?
Telegram. And you can ask for them there.
You could ask for them at Telegram?
Yeah, Telegram in our channel. In Telegram, you can ask for the links there.
Oh, you have a free public chat, don't you?
Yes.
Telegram public chat. Yeah, you can go there. Where else might you go?
Go to ineliabenz.com and
Okay, that's easy too.
do the search on these words.
And you'll find them.
Yeah.
Okay, easy enough. Can't say you don't know how. Don't know where. How about we have a chat with Ilya and Adelina about this?
Oh, yes. They took the
Yes.
workshop.
They took the workshop and I don't know, I'm going to put them on the spot a little bit. Should I?
Yeah.
I want to know, and it's a curiosity. It's not a judgment.
Uh-huh.
They were invited to join, and why didn't they?
Yeah. That'd be interesting to hear.
Well,
that too.
interesting to hear what they have to say about that.
Yes.
Because the invitation is an invitation. It's not a requirement,
No,
right?
not
And
a
there's no
requirement.
judgment, negative or positive about
But I'm very
do
curious
it or don't
about
do
it too,
But I'm
yeah.
curious about
Yeah.
it too.
And Adelina was actually a facilitator for the last one.
She was a facilitator, yeah.
in training.
And I think they're putting together a Romanian language version of Instant
They
Manifestation Workshop.
Yes.
Where I think the workshop will still be in English, but there'll be Romanians
The study
speaking
group
Romanian,
and the workshop will be in Romanian.
translating or, basically
The
working
workshop
through the workshop in Romanian,
Romanian.
to make sure that you can understand the concepts,
Yes.
even though the words
And
are in
use them.
English, right? You
Yeah.
can talk to each other in Romanian. So I think that's coming.
Yeah. And a Spanish one is coming too.
And a Spanish one is coming too?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm excited.
Me too.
Okay, I can't wait to talk about this some more.
All right.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.